Nick, first of all, it's great to see you. And I wanted to congratulate you for 19th straight year with a sub 4 minute mile. Can you just give us the secret to your longevity?
Thanks, Larry. I appreciate it. I'm not sure if there is one specific thing, but definitely the biggest challenge the last 5 years has been motivation and whether it's something that I still want to do. And I think a huge part of what's kept me in the game is the belief and support in my ability and my reason for running from my two coaches, Ron Warhurst and my wife, Sierra Willis, that they have believed more than I probably started to wonder, am I supposed to slow down? Maybe I don't have it in me anymore as I've aged. But I've had unwavering belief in my ability and that there's a greater purpose to why I run, and it does have a really positive impact in the sport. And so sometimes I doubt all of those things and want to move on in my life. And then I guess finally what's kept me motivated this year is now starting my own non-athletic career in my professional pursuit. Working at Tracksmith has afforded me the freedom to grow in other areas of my life, but also pursue my running sort of as a hobby. And so I think I don't see really a finish line in sight now. It's more I'll just keep doing this because it's a fun hobby, which I get to do at a fairly high level still.
Cool. And then a quick follow-up. I know you love running the boards. You still as excited about running indoors as you've been for the last 18, 19 years?
Yeah, especially coming down to Fayetteville. It was one of my favorite tracks. A lot of fond memories as a Michigan Wolverine coming down for the NCAA Indoor Championships. We'd have like 50 athletes from our team road trip down to cheer us on, us versus Arkansas, lots of great battles. And so it's been probably about a decade since I last raced on that great and fast track. So I'm really, really looking forward to rekindling some of those memories again.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, so Nick, I asked Alan Webb this one. I asked a few others. When am I going to see you run 25 laps on the track?
A 10K, it really is whether the timing was right. I probably would be more likely to commit to focusing a training block towards a marathon. And maybe a 10K would be part of that. I don't know. Okay. Maybe it's probably more so on the roads than I don't necessarily have any immediate desire to try and make a team for the 10-kilometer distance, but the marathon's probably more likely. But yeah, who knows? I'm not writing anything off.
Cool. You were with Reebok and then Adidas for a long time, most of your career, I believe. And now you've moved to Tracksmith. And the way that you explain it, and I wanted to give you a moment to kind of explain it, it's more of it's a career path as well as you see, as you're transitioning to other things in your life. What's the difference in competing for a footwear company and then working and competing for an apparel brand?
This is completely different in that this is my job and I'm focused on trying to help the company grow as best as possible. And we're doing a great job so far, so that I have the opportunity to also climb up into senior management roles down the line. And it'd be great if we could become a premier brand in the running industry for a long time to come. But because I'm also still competing, I can sort of justify, hey, I need to allocate a little portion of the day to this workout, or I've got a race coming up, but it's to the benefit of the company. So, but I'm not asking for permission the same way that I used to, because now I'm an employee. I'm one of the people making decisions on the sports marketing side. So I'm sort of my own. Nick Willis, the employee, is the boss of Nick Willis, the athlete, representing the brand as well, which is sort of fun.
Cool. Now, Tracksmith's been around for a while, and they do really high-quality product. I've met some of the guys there and stuff. Are you guys in the team business? Are you guys looking to pursue that, doing team product?
When you mean team product, you mean sponsoring, like providing for high schools to make their own uniforms and that sort of thing?
Not so much sponsoring, but the idea, because, there's 16,000 high schools out there, and a lot of the schools like to have stuff that looks good. Are you selling product to teams, or is that...
I'm actually curious about that myself. That's not my specific division, but At the moment, we partner with several clubs around the country. We have the Central Park Track Club and a number of clubs on the West Coast as well. So that's a way for us to really connect and engage with our local cities and communities.
Cool. And then final question. You ran a 3:58 pretty rocking, and you said you were kind of racing for second. What motivates you in racing now? What do you need to get you to the place where you're like we've watched you at the New Balance Indoor and past meets, just crank it out and make people work for every centimeter?
There's two things. I enjoy winning races like that. There's nothing better than that. Partly because when you win a race, often you haven't had to give your 100% effort. You can ease off at the end, and that's always enjoyable. And two, the Olympics still has a special place in my heart, and I would like to give myself a shot. Whether I make it or not is a separate part, but to know that I've committed and put all my eggs in that basket for another go at it, and that's what I'm working towards. And if I can have a successful race tomorrow, it could solidify or strengthen my position on the world rankings to help my chances for selection. The New Zealand team gets named in the early April, so it's sort of where you're standing on the world rankings at that point.
Okay. Thanks, Nick. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And you were talking about one trick pony, and I want to throw that at you for a second. I remember interviewing Michael Johnson, and he bemoaned the fact that so many kids in track were just doing track or just doing football. And he was telling me they should do everything. And you're talking about kids skateboarding. And I remember Jan Johnson, the pole vault guru, he loves the kids to skateboard and to mountain climb and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about your belief that people should do more than just running.
Well, I think there's several reasons, but ultimately running is a sport that you have to choose to do.
Okay.
No one can force it out of you. Like when the going gets tough out there, especially in a cross-country race or something, like there's no one who can help you. There's nowhere to hide. It's not like you're on a team sport where you can sort of lean on your teammates a little bit more. And sometimes you can get pulled along and semi-motivated if you're part of a really motivational high school program or college program. And now in the post-collegiate world, a lot of these kids now are part of these like training groups, like these sponsors, like where, as my coach likes to say, is they get in their bag carried for them all of the time.
Yeah.
But when it really comes down to it, maybe not for everybody, but in the majority of the time as a professional, and I think David Torrance was a great example of this, you have to be able to fend for yourself when you're out in the big wide world and make your own decisions and figure out how to train and navigate the international circuit, just like Steve Scott and John Walker used to, and by being a multi-sport athlete, you own that choice because you had the other option. There were other options in there. You had other interests going on.
Sure.
But eventually you chose running, and then it's like, okay, I own this. No one else has forced me to do this. And I do have other options, but I'm owning it. So I'm going to go all in at that point. And so there is a point where you can go all in, but you're able to take that to another level. And if you choose to do a different sport, that's great as well. But as a parent, I'm still trying to learn this. Like, I want to expose my kids to all of the other sports, but I can't be the one saying you need to do this or that. For someone to really excel at something, they need to own it themselves. And I think coming from a multi-sport background, that assists that. From a physical element, I'm personally experiencing the benefits of skateboarding again, that it's preventing injuries. And I think a big reason why I'm not getting injured at the moment is because I'm exposing my limbs and my joints and my ligaments to all different stress loads every single day when I'm jumping on a trampoline with my kids or when I'm at the skate park. And so long as you don't have that big injury where you like twist your ACL or something, now that is what people are fearful of. All of the other stuff actually builds up greater resilience. But when you're just a runner, just doing this one action repetitively, when one of those random situations happens, when you're carrying your bag out of a car or it slips down the escalator at the airport or you slip on a bit of ice, your body's not ready to handle that sudden new stress. But my body is, because I'm experiencing that on a skateboard every single day, all of these random occurrences, So I think there's that element to it as well.
Nick, thanks a lot. Always enjoy talking with you.
Hey, most welcome, guys. Take care.